In 2023, El Salvador built a fortress for 40,000 criminals. It cost them just $100 million. They claim they solved gang violence overnight. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, we spend $1.4 billion every single year. That is 14 times the cost for half the capacity. Today, we aren't just looking at cells. We are auditing the checkbook. Why is the American prison system a luxury subscription service for failure, while a developing nation gets results for pennies? First, let's look at the philosophy of the build. El Salvador Scape is essentially a concrete box. No recreation yards, no workshops, no privacy. It is a one-time hardware cost. They build it to last 50 years with minimal upkeep. Now look at Tennessee. Our prisons are aging, crumbling infrastructure that require constant, expensive repair. But the real cost isn't the concrete. It's the software. In the U.S., inmates have constitutional rights that translate directly into dollars. Mandated recreation time, law libraries, educational tablets, dietary requirements. Here's the silent budget killer that nobody talks about. The American prison population is getting old. In El Salvador, the typical gang member is young. In the U.S., thanks to long sentences from the 80s and 90s, our prisons are turning into nursing homes. Data shows that an inmate over the age of 55 costs the taxpayer anywhere from 3 to 9 times more than a younger inmate. Why? Heart medication, dialysis, cancer treatment. We are funding a massive, state-run geriatric hospital system behind razor wire. El Salvador isn't paying for hip replacements. Tennessee is. The staffing bleed, the overtime crisis. But the single biggest black hole in the budget isn't the pills. It's the payroll. In El Salvador, the prison is guarded by the military and police. It is a deployment, not a job offer. In Tennessee, the Department of Correction is in a staffing crisis. When you can't hire enough officers, you have to force the existing ones to work overtime. Time and a half. Double time. The state is bleeding millions just to keep the minimum number of boots on the ground. The home team connection, Core Civic. You can't talk about Tennessee prisons without talking about Core Civic. Headquartered right here in Brentwood, Tennessee, they run facilities like Truesdale and Turney Center. Truesdale and Turner issues, or fines. This is where the business of failure gets real. The state pays these companies a per diem rate for every bed they fill. If the prison is empty, they lose money. If it's full, stock goes up. Unlike El Salvador, where the goal is to crush crime, the financial incentive here is to maintain inventory. And in this business, the inmate is the inventory, the revolving door economy. And that inventory keeps coming back. This is a recidivism trap. In many U.S. states, nearly 40 to 50% of released inmates end up back inside within 3 years. It's a revolving door. If a car manufacturer had a 40% failure rate, they would go bankrupt. But in the prison industry, a failure creates a repeat customer. Every time an inmate returns, the police, the courts, the lawyers, and the prison vendors get paid all over again. El Salvador's model is a one-way ticket. Ours is a cycle of profitable failure. The lawsuit liability. Finally, there's a cost El Salvador simply does not pay. Liability. In the U.S., if a prisoner slips in the shower or is denied medical care, they sue. Tennessee taxpayers pay out millions in settlements. It is a hidden tax buried in the general fund. The verdict. So, why can't the U.S. replicate the El Salvador model? Because our system is an industry. Construction firms, food vendors, phone companies, private operators, and lawyers all take a slice of that $1.4 billion pie. We didn't build a system to solve crime. We built an economy. This is just the surface. In our next investigation, I'm digging into the parole board and why some dangerous offenders get released while the nonviolent ones sit in expensive cells. We're Scape News. Subscribe to see the files they don't want you to read. Welcome to the inner circle. This isn't just a membership. It's a mission. You're supporting forensic truth, mythic blends, and ceremonial broadcasts that honor every moment. Members unlock exclusive enhancements, behind-the-scenes alerts, and direct access to the pulse of Timescape news and leading sponsor, Gold Rush Fever Specialty Coffee. Join us and help shape the signal. We thank you, and as always, stay safe. That's the latest from Timescape News. We're live. We're watching. We thank you. Subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell so you don't miss what breaks next. Stay with us. We appreciate you, and as always, be safe.